Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2, a Protoss versus Terran matchup. Though not the one you might expect. Let me first introduce. In the bottom left, you're not misreading it. No. Proving that Zerg players are just better. And that's why they win everything. Start the arguments now and continue them well into the comments. Let me introduce your Protoss player in the playoffs of this ESL Cup. It's Reynor. Yes, already scouting for proxies. Thinks very little of his opponent, who's had this tournament named after him because of his dominance in the past. In fact, a lot of people might just call it inevitable because of the sheer force of his gravitic well and size of his brain and so much else. Of course, it's the biggest of all Gabes. It's HeroMarine. A competitor probably Clem and HeroMarine. Always go back and forth. Recently, HeroMarine's been making a much larger case for himself, which is very hard to do for someone of such magnitude. But recently, he's looked almost as good. Clem's still showing that his sheer strength and micro and execution can outdo almost everyone, including Cyril. But HeroMarine is a very different type of player. He's German. Okay? Not to stereotype, but the top German players we have of each race. Oh my god, Reynor goes with the recall, of course. We'll get more. But the top German players of each race. Lambo for Zerg. HeroMarine for Terran. Showtime for Protoss. And what do those three players have in common? Being remarkably macro-oriented, pinpoint execution, relatively defensive players, relying on making smarter decisions over a longer amount of time. Not stereotyping, but in a curious coincidence. Now, even more curious is Reynor's just gotten bored of playing Zerg, and he beat Cyril as well in King of Battles. He's beaten Zerg. He's prestiged in StarCraft 2, and there are a few players with a little more prestige. So he's decided to just, try to play again and rank up as another race. And this is the playoffs. I believe this is the semifinals of the ESL Open Cup, so he's beaten everyone to get here. He's beaten Showtime, also a Protoss player. Now, PvP is PvP, but still. We'll have to see what his unique take on the matchup is. And Reynor has always been a player with very unique takes, even as Zerg, which doesn't really offer you a whole lot of room for creativity. Protoss, on the other hand, is something somewhat different. So we recognize HeroMarine coming up with a Hellion push. The Oracle has been held, but guess what? There goes the 5th Marine. That means the Oracle wins the fight against these Marines. Yeah, well, wait, whoa. Unless HeroMarine micros so perfectly his HeroMarine. Okay, so the Oracle's supposed to win the fight against 4 Marines? But Big Gabe, on the other hand, says, actually, no. I did not realize that if you stutter step well enough, you can actually avoid. If Reynor had microed the Oracle a little better, it wouldn't have been an issue, but it's Armory Mines. A disgusting, filthy build, a technical execution here. And if Reynor is not paying attention, and he doesn't have that Oracle in position, or even worse, he loses it, well, this already is going to be somewhat disastrous. Only drops 1 mine out. Another one, he's spread. Oh, 7 kills! Reynor looking the other way! Oh my god, he gets 1. Wait, where's the 4th mine? 1, 2, 3. There's 1 on the ramp. He actually surrounds a mine, but wow, this is disgusting. And he's spreading them out to try to avoid the revelation. We'll see if Reynor is able to split. He gets just 1. Oh my god, it worked. What a play. Disastrous right now. Another hit. 13 probes. Disgusting. Some of the most damage I've seen mines do in quite a bit. Though most players have been trying more of a bio-oriented build. HeroMarine making sure Reynor has his basic builds down. He's not getting away with anything. Right now, he's like, maybe you should just stick to playing Minecraft. See? It's pretty fun. Another mine hit. How many... another one. He just keeps sending them out. It's not like Reynor's gonna have a big counterattack potential. He's just got Stargate. God, this is horrible. Does he just tap out? He's bullying him. Reynor's getting bullied. Oh, no. Wait, the Oracle. Oh, do you just leave? Like, oh, how embarrassing. Oh, that was all. He doesn't have any. He built another Oracle. There's another drop. Another mine drop. Loses an Adept. And another. And oh my god. Oh no. Well, so HeroMarine spends his entire day, pretty much, playing Terran versus Protoss. That is not just the majority, it is the overwhelming majority of the games you play as a high-level player on the European server. You can read into that however you will. But he just made Reynor look like another mid-GM nerd. Yes, mid-GM is an insult, by the way. In case you weren't keeping track, that's an insult. It's like, mid-GM? That sounds no. HeroMarine, as someone who regularly has 2 accounts in the top 5 of the ladder, and one of them is his streamer account, where he focuses on commentary, and sometimes is higher MMR than his other account. But he pretends like he's playing worse, because that's just how I don't think I had very good execution on that build. It was just my opponent making mistakes. Well, okay. Alright, Hero. And in this case, it was a little bit of both. As Reynor did not... wow, destroying the cleaning bots. Apparently he has rapid fire selection set up, so that way you can just hold down a key and destroy the cleaning bots with the repeated furious mouse clicks. Because of course we're planning for that. Very important. Honestly, some of these maps do have a kind of an excessive amount of the doodads and neutral creatures. Yeah, so that was bad. Reynor, yeah. The first hit was 7 probes. If it had been cleaned up past that point, it already would have been bad. But it just didn't stop. Quite an embarrassing game 1. But Reynor has been down 2-0 in the World Championship against HeroMarine. Yes, Reynor was playing Zerg. He's been down 2-0 though, and it looked like Big Gabe might go on to face Cyril in a huge, like the best finish of his career. What did Reynor do? 3 games in a row. Somehow Reynor just doesn't tilt. I mean, he's playing Protoss, but I can't imagine it's... In fact, it might be even less prone to, because you're like, well, okay, fine, my god. Will he go to the corner and recall, or does he realize... Oh, he did! No! He recalled at the last possible second, but he was also like 2 pixels away from spotting the second Rex. Of course, he saw there wasn't a factory and no second gas. So, a lot of people have done the math on the probe. Like, is it better to just recall the probe? Like, statistically, is it better, mineral-wise, to recall the probe? Or is it better to just, like, let it die or chrono boost another probe? And I don't think it's important, because it's a mental victory. In my opinion, the mental victory of recalling that probe outweighs, and also the math is pretty close. Like, I think you do actually just end up with more minerals by chrono boosting because you get more probes more quickly, but I think any sort of mineral deficit is heavily outweighed by the mental victory of recalling the probe out of the base. Yeah. Those extra Marines will give away the fact that HeroMarine does not have a reactor factory. In fact, it's very likely to be Bio, as remember, he got it, and he scouted just the one gas. So, the second most common build, or probably the most common build right now, is this 3 racks. We've kind of reverted back to a Wings of Liberty almost style of attack, as a lot of Protoss have been going for third bases, heavy tech with almost no units, and well thought out stim timings can definitely do some damage against that. Now, Reynor is not going for a greedy third base, but he's not slacking on the tech. He's got a robotics bay finishing at just around this 420 mark. Though he is chrono boosting an immortal. I'm not sure. Disruptor drop? Colossus rush? Either way, oh, the knees of the Stalker are broken, but it drops away just in time. A single shield better. That should be in range of overcharge. What? Stim +1. Combat shield's already done. No? He didn't start it yet. Should be next up. There it is. So this was just a... I want you to freak out right now, Mr. Reynor, sir. I want you to be very worried about this attack. But HeroMarine had no significant intentions, especially against a 2-base Protoss and doing critical damage. But he did delay Reynor's third, and he did delay the Colossus, though he might not know that second part yet. And he's going to delay the third even more with a heroic Marine almost sniping the probe. Just impeccable Marine micro, and it would be a little offensive if it was otherwise, to be honest. Extended thermal lance on the way. Chrono boost on the Colossi. The pathing taking the Bio Army a couple different ways. Reynor's already spotted the attack on the way across. I think the Colossus is a non-starter. I think with only one Marauder, especially without combat shield, this is not only not going to do damage, but it is a risk to HeroMarine just being out here. Gets a swipe off without medevacs. Reynor's not going to just lose that Colossus. Yeah, HeroMarine, Reynor didn't want to risk it, but HeroMarine at risk of losing half his army if he gets too close to the force field. So now, thing is, with this style, you do maintain map control. Alright? Like, you still have the opportunity to, like, you still have enough units that if the Colossi walk out, you can easily surround or even base trade to an extent. So, Reynor's playing this power unit bare bones style. I mean, what are his units? What units does he have? He has 2 Colossi, he's got 3 sentries, he's got 4 Stalkers, which do essentially no damage, and an Immortal. Meanwhile, HeroMarine is sitting on 60 army supply of Biomedevac. A few Marines. This is the most obvious bait and switch I've ever seen. Reynor, you know that. Like, he's already got Stalkers in position. You don't come in with 5 Marines. At this level, 5 Marines. This isn't Diamond. Okay. He's not coming in with 5 Marines like that's going to be his big attack. Reynor already has what he needs. He had a hallucinated Phoenix that actually scouted the drops at that same time. +1 is done for HeroMarine. 2 medevacs on the way. +1 and Blink for our Zerg convert. Another Immortal. No second robotics facility yet. The Gateway explosion will continue. And yeah, we're at the 66 probe count. He's still building probes, so we're not stopping there. No Templar as of yet. There's the armory. This is the quote-unquote macro phase. And I'm interested to see it, because Reynor as Zerg usually really likes to get up in your grill. But it seems like he's content to sit back and build up the army here as Protoss. Maybe he just is acknowledging the strength of HeroMarine's army right now. Or just maybe not as comfortable with the hyper-aggressive style. Fourth command center. Yeah, HeroMarine wants to drag this out. Well, he saw the fourth out of Reynor. But I think HeroMarine, one of the few players outside of Maru who I would trust with a Ghost Viking, like, Liberator late game. He has so much practice. He's so good at positioning. And taking those fights that come together and suddenly the Protoss army melts. EMPs land, Vikings in a nice position, like with a high ground or something. The Bio army minimizing splash damage. Like, he knows how to set it all up to knock down the army. But we'll see. No Ghost Academy yet. 2 flavors of Templar. Double dipping is Reynor. He's got the Dark Templar and the High Templar on the way simultaneously. Make sure it's all covered. Meanwhile, the army in the center of the map, Guardian Shield popped. The double drop heading out. Looking at the back line. There are some spotter pylons and all that, but so far, relatively passive. Can you hit the high ground from there? Just curve the bullets. Like that one movie. Meanwhile, a triple drop picks up and heads for the main. This is partially HeroMarine freeing up supply as efficiently as possible. The Blink Stalkers snap up one. Reynor right on the edge. Almost gets a second, but the tech tree is vulnerable here. Good warping. Actually gets enough of the units. Yeah, Reynor, this was a bait. It loses a handful of probes. He didn't need those probes. This ends up working out well enough for Reynor. Not game ending by any means, of course. But HeroMarine not finding the scan a little off the mark. The Stalkers at the very edge. And now DT Blink on the way. Another drop. Spotted on the right flank. Reynor snaps it up. Another. That's 4 medevacs down in 40 seconds. A 5th one boosts away with whatever's left. HeroMarine is still maxed. He's trading out these units for Ghosts and Vikings, though he probably didn't want to do it quite so quick. 1 Viking down. Reynor micro. Oh, he gets the medevac. Catch him on the way out. Reynor microing Blink Stalkers on one front, but the Vikings getting a good volley, dodges the volley! Eats it with the Warp Prism, though. I don't know about that one. The Stalkers are no Zerglings. They're almost as fragile. They're a couple Ruptors and Blink DTs. The double Ds of destruction built right next to each other. Disruptor Dark Templar. Even more high damage glass cannons to make this an even more tense mid and going on late game. What are the upgrades? 1-1 versus 2-2. Favored for HeroMarine, especially with the Ghost, to strip away the shields of anything. Only Disruptors are particularly reliable. Colossi to an extent, but the Viking count is high enough for now. Triple drop in the main. Disruptor to hold. Clips one of his own Stalkers. There's not enough left over. A warping of charge lots will pick up. Meanwhile, charge lots in the natural. The 4th base of Reynor is besieged. He has to pull the probes away. The Zealots aren't enough. HeroMarine left the reinforcements at the ramp. Now juggling up to the high ground. Even a Ghost getting involved. 14 probes down. Another drop. Reynor scrambling to defend despite the fact he's maxed out. In fact, maybe because of it, he can't actually warp in that much. Reynor's actually... He's bringing his army back. Is that Select All Army, Reynor? Come on. Oh my. Kind of abandoning his 4th base. Reynor scrambling. HeroMarine running him around in circles. Not quite as horrible as game 1, but... Oh, the reshield from the EMPs! EMPs again! But... The shield battery overcharged, doesn't care. Reynor realizes at the last second, pats himself on the back. I always imagine just literally, like, you overcharge the shield battery and you're just like, good job, me. Yes, that feels nice. Like, I did a good job here. Oh my. Oh, but the disruptors are caught. HeroMarine catches some of the most expensive units at the start of the fight, leaving Reynor scrambling to follow it up. Hold position, but I don't know if that's where you want to hold, Reynor. Where are you going? Meanwhile, HeroMarine, though, into a Colossus and some Archons. Hold positioning. He's really confident in these hold positions. He holds while the Vikings knock over his Colossi, which is a bit ambitious. Oh my. And then he says, you know what? I've seen Max Pax play. A dozen DTs. The Cape Boys will be... Oh, this is going to get real awkward. He blunks. The DTs have that tiny delay while they stare, but slice up the planetary. Meanwhile, he actually spotted the Medivacs with the Deets. A recall. He's recalling the DTs out. He gets about half of them out, which, Will the Disruptor fire at point blank? Who are you shooting at? The Stalkers aren't enough. More Zealots warped in. EMP. Just whatever you can hit, really. The Bio Army. He's trapped in a prison of his own design. The Zealots are scrambling through. Another EMP on the Warpins. These units are stupidly cost-effective. Disruptor hit. HeroMarine micros back. The army in the main still not being dealt with. The DTs with Blink onto the army. A scan doing more damage. HeroMarine moving through. Warpins move to intercept. Both sides still very close to max because the economies are ridiculously high. Liberation is at hand. The Bio Army. That's so many goddamn charge lots. The Bio Army does have better upgrades. No more Blink Stalkers. They finally clean things up in the main and will retreat. Reynor. So Reynor comes out. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases, including the one with like half a dozen HPs. It has 31 HP, like 3 Marauder hits. If only we could get rid of those pesky shields. Reynor just out. Wow, the mountains of mules have now dropped into the valleys of Reynor's greed. And HeroMarine has not done the critical damage, though he has Ghosts and Liberators in production, which is the late-game army. Meanwhile, though, DTs slice apart the turrets and sensor tower and start working on the base. Disruptor shots. Planetary Fortress holding the line for now. Another Disruptor. Center mass. Good chunk. DTs. Ghosts versus DTs. I've seen this in Carbot. 16 SCVs go down. And HeroMarine is scrambling to maintain a maxed out supply, whereas Reynor expands to a 7th base. Oh, I love it. Rapid reignition thrusters, Medivac speed, and boost cooldown. My favorite underrated upgrade, HeroMarine. I love to see it. Unfortunately, though, that's not going to help with this many Zealots and DTs into the 5th. Reynor working along the left flank. Still 86 probes. HeroMarine down to 50 SCV snipes. But they just turn around and snipe the rest. The Ghost getting outflanked. It's unclear who's gonna... Wait, this is one of the weirdest fights. Meanwhile, Orbital Land still repaired. A couple Liberators on the high ground, zoning out the low. But HeroMarine can't keep up his supply. The Liberators are strongly suggesting the Protoss army doesn't come anywhere close to this base. But Reynor's essentially everywhere else. He didn't actually spot these Liberators moving by, and that might come back to bite him. He doesn't see him on the left either. I don't know where Reynor's focusing. I guess he's going in toward the 3rd, or the 3rd-ish. These Liberators are going to be incredibly annoying. Reynor does not have a Stargate of any kind. And I mean, there's only one type, but, like, he doesn't have a fleet beacon, so... No Tempest, even if he does go that direction. HeroMarine with these Liberators should successfully be able to slow things down a bit. Force a response, even though Reynor's building 5 probes at a time, which is, you know, like... Scouting with Purification Nova. Oh, this was barely in range of the Stalkers in the bottom right, but he's losing more probes. I'm pretty sure the Stalkers can blink on that. A Stargate is now on the way. HeroMarine has maxed out, and he's got a pretty disgusting army. He's got 5 Liberators, a dozen Medivacs, which is a bit high, 8 Ghosts. The amount of incredibly powerful units on both sides is continuing to rise. 6 Disruptors. It's going to come down to the fights. Reynor has survived. He's got 94 probes, which means his army supply is limited to 106. He's at that 106 now. Whereas HeroMarine has 140. He has another full army able to move around that Reynor can't match. Disruptors, 1, 2, 3, directed! The 3rd shot. Just too many to take down at once. At some point, quantity is a quality all its own. Another Disruptor shot on the right flank. That's the only way to get it there. But the blink, the Liberator's doing a lot. That means he can't scramble up to the high ground. Shield battery overcharged, looking to save this base once again. The rest of the army scrambling back. DT's blink forward. Depowers everything, but there's not enough on the ground. The Ghosts aren't going to cover it. The Liberators are cut down by the Stalkers. 20 probes. What is happening here? Ghost Cloak is done. Gonna kill some random probes. Try to chase the Medivacs. Reynor actually missed the mark on this by a bit. There's no detection, though he does have not observers. He does have Disruptors, or he could just run into a cannon, I guess. That also works. Meanwhile, Phoenix dealing with the Liberator in the safe zone. But not safe anymore. Takes a while. Jesus. Okay. 3 hours. Oh my god. Well, okay. He gets them eventually. Yeah, Phoenix is not the greatest counter to Liberators, but they are a counter. More probes dying. Army, there was a Nexus here. Reynor on top of 2 orbitals. HeroMarine supply is dropping. He's down to 41 SCVs. Though I'm not sure how many mineral patches he has left to mine from. There's orbitals all over the place. Disruptor shot. Flips the army, trying to come out from the liberation zones. HeroMarine is getting pinned back into his base. And Reynor slams some disruptors into his face. 20 SCVs down. Reynor essentially zerging HeroMarine here. Orbitals lifting now, realizing that they're definitely not helping. Another shot clips the Marauders. The Bio Army getting dangerously low here. Has to pull back. Disruptors being staggered out. More Liberators. Oh my god. The overlapping Venn diagram of ridiculous freedom. But Zealots on the left flank. Reynor still has mules, but Reynor still has more than enough economy to maintain production. HeroMarine cannot lose another base. He just simply can't. The planetary vulnerable SCVs pulled to defend. HeroMarine actually on his last legs! Well, he has a few less legs now after that ridiculous Disruptor hit. More Liberators coming forward. Gun down before they can fire a shot. The EMPs are not enough, and HeroMarine has to tap it out as Reynor out-macros him. HeroMarine tried to build the better army. Reynor tried to build more. More stuff oftentimes does counter less. The rate of expansion. I do think a lot of Protoss underestimate how many bases they can take. Like, 400 minerals is not that many minerals in the grand scheme of things. And Reynor, I think, is realizing that. Where's this SCV going? I don't know if HeroMarine has realized, but Reynor has probe scouted for the proxy Rex in every game so far. He's looked in every game, though probably not this far out. So. Yeah, he's looking again, but this is... Oh my god. Wait, he queued it up. Oh my god.
Surprise, motherfucker.
And he finds it early enough to potentially force a cancel. Oh, no. Well, unfortunately, he got the sweet spot there. He's got to work the SCV. He's sending 2 more SCVs out. This is already horrible. Like, this is already... Having to send any extra SCVs. Especially since it looks like the first SCV is going to get the job done. Job's finished. Wait, now there are 2 workers on the map for either side. HeroMarine's like, well, I have this SCV out here. So, on the bright side, for HeroMarine, Reynor sent a second probe. I think he was pretty committed just in case HeroMarine sent an extra SCV. But he doesn't actually end up delaying it. He juggled the SCV into the sweet spot. RNGesus smiled upon him. There is a Zealot done, so this is a weird start. It's not great for HeroMarine, but it could have definitely been worse. He could have just lost the SCV and either had to cancel the racks or been heavily delayed. Like, that could have just been almost a rage quit there. Not even an unjustified rage quit. Well, but it wouldn't be the only thing this game that would be potentially taking a Zealot. Oh my god, the probe almost kills the SCV. But do it, Reynor. He's gonna get shields back. He's coming in. The probe has tasted blood in it once more. Okay, well, there it goes. That's Zest thing, all right? 3 games till we talked about Zest. I was busy talking about Reynor. But, oh my god. Reynor. Oh, this is just one of the... Everybody's had one of these TVPs where just everything goes just a little bit wrong. Like, everything is just a little bit wrong. And it adds up real quick. Oh no, like, he lost the Zealot, but I think that was intent. Oh, what about? Now that, like little things like that are what keep you from rage quitting out of the game. Also, the fact you're about to lose to Reynor's PROTOSS when you almost beat him TVZ in IEM Katowice. Like, that might also factor in. Jesus, though, this is so bad. Oh my god. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, this hurts. As a Terran, I'm 1/3 Terran myself. Some of my best friends are Terran. God. Ugh. I don't like. This is revenge for game 1, is what it is. Game 1 with the abusive bullying of the mine drops. Well, so far, this has paid it back. And the thing is, the mine drops won the game. Reynor has not won the game. Though, it's not great. These mine drops, and Widow Mines have changed many games in the past. I don't even know how this one got in there, but... This is going to have to be... And he knows it's coming, too. It's not like he doesn't know Widow Mines are on the agenda. Come on. Oh. Blink is not done yet. On the bright side for Reynor. The probe's Paul. Almost eats a hit. Another mine. He's doing a good job juggling the mines. Oh my god, the juicy hit! He tries to retarget. Doesn't quite get it. Gets 5 kills. Blink is done. HeroMarine gets out. He needed every little bit. Reynor just expands to the front. It looks like, yeah, it's going to be scouted. HeroMarine checked. Very diligent. So, okay, alright, you got to kill this mine. It looks like it's going to die in time. Okay, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It wasn't bad. And he kept the medevac alive. That's a big deal. Now, if he just flies in and loses it, then it's going to be less good. But Reynor's going to respond with what is this, 4-gate blink? Classic tactic. He's got enough stalkers to defend and attack reasonably. But he moves away. Well, a little dicey, though I think it's partially all he knew. Oh my god. Oh, if he didn't know, he at least suspected. Oh, he just slammed the door directly in his face. Oh, he was halfway through the door jam. Oh god. It's a disaster. And now, there goes the bunker. Stim's not done. No medevacs at home. This is going to be a painful trade. I don't think HeroMarine loses here, but it's certainly not great. Meanwhile, auto turrets, something. Some sort of damage here. The medevacs are finishing. Very insanely, incredibly, ridiculously, inevitably important. The juggle, the blink into the blink. Meanwhile, he just sends out a mine drop while this is all happening, which is a bit of a questionable decision as Reynor wins the game with 1 stalker of HP, yet 10 stalkers. Yeah, Reynor just blink micros better than everyone else. Okay, so... Jesus. It's not even like he cheesed him out here. Remember, it was HeroMarine who started with the proxy racks. He warps in a couple zealots to tank the damage. Oh my. Like, he's just... HeroMarine knows where this is going. This is very not good. Some Widow Mines at the 3rd. He's 100% reliant now on Reynor screwing this up. Like, the worker count is disgusting. That's 28 to 56. That is half. You see, I'm good with that.
The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you.
But, is it time to just pull the boys? Like... He picks up. I guess this is one where, like, if he can get into the production. Well, this is all happening. Medevac drops. Actually a bit late on the pull. Eats a hit. That'll buy some space. And he chases, which means there's not much in the main. The Hail Mary from HeroMarine. He actually redirects for the 3rd. Probably a smart call here. A couple Widow Mines will prevent the blink. HeroMarine has the army supply right now. He's working everything he has. The Widow Mine hits the Warp Prism, leaving it tantalizingly close, but yet not dead. More kills. Auto turret got a dozen. Another medevac comes out. HeroMarine not out of this yet. He still has the army supply, and it's just stalkers here. The Nexus is halfway dead. The Warp Prism is bruised. A Colossus is out, but it doesn't have thermal lance. HeroMarine's still far behind economically, but he's made some progress. Heading towards the natural. The Raven. Trying to make its way out. Dragging back to the net. Colossus moves out. The most obvious bait and switch here. Reynor should recognize this. Oh, the Colossus is there. He can't really pick up. Loses a medevac immediately. And HeroMarine wasn't really on the timing to drop again. Which, like, Reynor's already directing towards the main. HeroMarine realizes he missed the opportunity. Auto turret at the net, trying to distract, almost loses a medevac because Reynor's already there. There is less than 0 room for error here is the problem. Reynor is already ahead of the potential multi-drop. We're running out of options. HeroMarine makes a 3rd command center, which doesn't feel like a good thing here. It feels like a uh-oh. Reynor hasn't played perfect, but it's been damn close. 3 kills on the mines, just something. The thing is, Reynor's solidified. He's consolidated that economy. He already has enough gateways. And he has Colossi building up. It's getting harder and harder to ever even think about taking that good fight. Once you get about 3 Colossi with Thermal Lance and +1, you kind of need Vikings. Like, that's the edge of even pretending to fight that. Like, he uses the auto turret as cover to get his medevac out. A bit of a clever move. Unfortunately, though, these medevacs will wander. Oh no! He drops to try to draw fire. Almost loses the medevac. He may realize, but he's got hallucinated Phoenix. It's not happening, HeroMarine. It ain't happening. He's desperate. He drops the command center down. The SCV's transferred at an awkward time. HeroMarine has kept his supply remarkably close for how bad this has gone. But that bruised warp prism is still very capable of dropping. And now, guess who's on... Oh no, HeroMarine! Okay, he's able to get most of the medevacs out. In fact, the units are a bit disjointed, losing more SCVs that he cannot afford to lose. The thing is, though, there's not enough army here. It's just Marauders. Like, this is a Colossus-killing army. He's fighting with the sentries, with the ground army. This is an awkward distribution of units. The SCVs left abandoned, but he kills all the Colossi. Reynor loses his most valuable units, but at the same time, HeroMarine loses 18 SCVs, so... Once again, this leaves HeroMarine in a position where his army might be able to take the fight. Finally, the meta... Oh, kill it! His army might be able to take the fight, but his economy can't sustain it. So once again, Reynor has to defend. HeroMarine has nearly double army supply. Like, the orbital itself is vulnerable, but HeroMarine will not turn around anymore. He picks up probably just to drop past the rocks here. There goes the orbital, and that means, yeah, immediate recall of the Stalkers. Everyone needs to come back and defend. There's a scramble. Does he get it? A couple of auto turrets in front. The Liberator's knocked down, but the auto turrets are helping a lot. Shield battery overcharge is good. Is it good enough? It looks like maybe, but those Stalkers actually, they blink in, they get a medevac. The Bio Army is remarkably cost-effective. It's only one Colossus. The Marauders stimming forward, going for it. They get it. It's just Stalkers. HeroMarine still holding. Oh no! And then very suddenly, but very decisively, loses everything. He gets the Colossus, he gets a bunch of Stalkers, he takes a good fight, and then loses a medevac of units and 2 others. Somehow he still has a much larger army supply. Reynor keeps partitioning his units in ways that... Like, he's used to playing Zerg. None of the Zerg units are that important. Like, a Zerg army, maybe your Vipers, but... Protoss, on the other hand, these power units are everything. Shield battery overcharge is off cooldown, but he's actually going to lose the base. The Stalkers are out on the map, cutting off reinforcements. HeroMarine redirects forward. Oh, the tank, like, the 2 Colossi with thermal lance, Liberator knocked down immediately. The medevacs are out of energy. HeroMarine being ground down. As Reynor, he does have... HeroMarine doesn't know about this base. He may just... He doesn't have the energy for scan, does he? This is kind of a like, oh no, never mind, GG situation almost. Like... The boys are pulled to the 3rd, which he's lifting from his natural. He's desperate. Reynor, the 71 probes. The economy shooting down. The blink back is risky. The medevacs don't have enough energy to keep these units intact. Reynor is... Every second the game goes on favors Reynor. HeroMarine tried to play the micro game. The medevacs are wasting their energy on SCVs. Templar Archives, another base. The Marauder. HeroMarine not tapping it out yet. His army supply is still kind of close. But no longer does he have the advantage. He's somehow able to produce. For now. Off of everything. Reynor's adding Archons. I think HeroMarine... Yeah, he scouted this at some point. The Observer's right there, but like, can you really spare a scan? Like... Where is he going with these things? Uh-oh. He might not even realize the Observer's over him. Stutter step back. That's so much. He saw the Archons now. +2's done. The Stalkers are targeting Medivacs. I mean... almost anyone else would have been dead several times over. But HeroMarine still scrapping it. He finds... He has one Viking. Like, the tanks need to target the Colossi. It's rough. It's too much. The War Prism's here. And Reynor beats HeroMarine 2-1 as Protoss. And the only game HeroMarine won was almost a... Armory mine drop by default. So, what does that say? Draw your conclusions. Very important. But Reynor. Are Zerg players just better players? That's the question. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this ESL Cup match. Like, subscribe. What do you want to see? Who do you want to see him face? Cyril as Protoss? Obviously. Alright, be more original. But yeah, thank you for watching. Good luck, have fun. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned.